happy to have Dawn Zoldi here with us. And she's an expert in unmanned aircraft systems and advanced air mobility law and policy. So she has actually more to share with us than about her company and such, but we're excited to hear about that. But she's also going to share about women to watch in UAS. So I'm super excited about that. And we just can't thank you enough, Dawn, for joining us.
Well, thank you so much, Desi, and so great to see everybody. Really appreciate the opportunity to speak with everybody.
Well, we are glad. Can you share a little bit about what is happening and some of the things that you've been up to? And I know we can't wait to hear about the women to watch, but can you share just a little bit about yourself and some of the things that you're doing in the industry?
Yeah, absolutely. Sure. I'll do a quick run. So I'm retired United States Air Force colonel. I was a lawyer in the United States Air Force JAG Corps, so military attorney for almost 25 years. Retired from active duty in March of 2018, and then spent 2 years with on the civilian side, still as part of the Department of the Air Force in the General Counsel's office, working at the United States Air Force Academy, doing some business matters for them. And they have a UAS center and 23 research centers and institutes there. So I got to, keep my fingers in the drone pie, if you will. So that was pretty amazing. And then in the past year, I transitioned to be on faculty. I was actually the deputy director at the Air Force Academy's Center for Character and Leadership Development. So it was pretty amazing because let's back up a little bit in the timeline. October of 2019, I received the Women to Watch in UAS Award for leadership. And it was really life-changing for me. I was working with the General Counsel at the time, met Sharon, of course, and some of the amazing women and folks in Women in Drones. And it really inspired me to create my company. So that's kind of right around there was a big inflection point for me. I decided to transition out of the General Counsel, and being able to work on faculty in a leadership arena on the federal side was great because it really avoided potential conflicts. I wasn't working in drones by day. I was working in drones by night and on weekends and during leave. So I was able to really grow my business over the last year. And that was a 1-year position. And so coming into 2021, I realized, how's this looking? And I decided, you know what, I'm taking the leap. I'm going full time in my company. And what a journey it's been. And it's been pretty amazing. So Desi, I don't know if you want to ask me another question, but I'm happy to talk about different lines of effort that I'm working on.
Well, okay, so the internet connection gets a little wonky right now. But you had said you had some other efforts that you were working on?
Yeah, so through my company, I'd say if there's one major thread, it's education. And my mission is really to elevate the industry. And so over time, I've kind of developed, I'll call it almost 3 different lines of effort, but they're all tied together. One is consulting, and I do quite a bit of that in drone and advanced air mobility for a bunch of different companies, writing a lot of white papers and advocacy pieces for them. I'm also doing education, and that's teaching at Colorado State University Pueblo and in their Homeland Security Institute, and some of the speaking I do as well. And then kind of marketing and media. And the education and the media kind of go hand in hand because I write for Inside Unmanned Systems magazine, Inside GNSS magazine. I curate content for Interdrone for their conference. One of the biggest things I'm doing, obviously, is working with women in drones. And so, Sharon and it really inspired me to create my company. And this year, I'm the ambassador for the 2021 Women to Watch in UAS Global Awards program. And it's amazing to be able to pay it forward a little bit because I got so much out of it. It was so life-changing for me to be able to do that and work with other women and help elevate the industry all at the same time is a real honor for me.
Well, congratulations on the 2019 award, and how exciting that it actually catapulted you into a new direction. It just opened so many doors. So can you share a little bit about the Women to Watch, the awards that are on the webpage and being announced right now?
Yes, absolutely. So really exciting. Yesterday we launched the nomination page. We launched the announcement page, and so all of that is live. And this is our 5th year anniversary. So Sharon, started out I think in a back room. Friends, women hatched this idea. Let's create a website. And then it became Women in Drones, and now it's so much more. And this award program went hand in hand with setting up Women in Drones in the beginning. It's evolved over time. This year, we have 4 individual awards and 2 team categories. And those individual awards, and you might, again, by the way, in the chat, I dropped a bunch of links. So you guys, if you want to cut and paste them and go back and read them later. But I'll start out first with the Leadership Award, because that's the one I received. This year, it's the Sabrewing Aircraft Leadership Award. And that will recognize an individual woman with demonstrating exceptional ability to motivate people or groups to achieve a common goal, including but not limited to like education, policy, innovation, business, humanitarian. I mean, you name it. If you know a woman that's leading in the drone space anywhere, this is the award that you want to nominate for them for. And oh, by the way, self nominations are a thing. Like, so, don't be shy. I think oftentimes women will hesitate to try to elevate themselves. Nominate yourself if you're out there and you've nobody else to nominate you. The second individual award is the Iris Automation Entrepreneurship Award. So this one recognizes an individual woman innovator who has significantly impacted the drone industry, possessing outstanding business acumen and innovative practices leading to the success of her company, projects, or related efforts of others. And so again, you can read the full criteria on the website, but I'll just roll through these. You all know Skydio, and we're so fortunate that they sponsored this year our Public Safety and Public Service Award. And so I want to foot stomp this, because I think a lot of times people think public safety, that must just be law enforcement, but it's so much broader, and we included public service for a reason. So for people working for the government or in the public sector that maybe don't normally get recognized, people like JAGs, people like that work for the FAA or equivalents in other countries that are producing, ICAO, that are putting forward these regulations, these all qualify for this particular category. And it's someone who's serving the public in that any capacity that epitomizes community involvement and betterment of service-oriented activities and sacrifice. And then our last but not least individual award is the Unmanned Safety Institute Education Award. We have so many people involved in Women in Drones that have a heart for education, and this one could recognize them. It's for an individual woman teacher or instructor that actively engages students with drones and shares the value of drones, etc. So that's a great one, and always a popular one every year. Our 2 team awards that we have this year, the first one is actually sponsored by a Canadian company called Volatus Aerospace. If you haven't heard about Volatus Aerospace, you will. They are the largest drone service provider in Canada, and they're really on the forefront of the Canadian regulations with Transport Canada, especially for beyond visual line of sight. So this Innovation Team Award recognizes a team, group, company, agency, or organization in the drone ecosystem that actively encourages, inspires women to disrupt and innovate the drone industry. So again, a great opportunity. The teams, by the way, they don't have to be all women. They're, co-ed teams. So that's fine. And the last but not least, we have the Fox Fury Team Spotlight, or Drones for Good team category. And that recognizes a global co-ed team, group, company, agency, or organization doing overall work contributing to the positive public perception of drones, while fostering a culture of female empowerment and inclusiveness, where women are engaged in key roles on that team. So those are the awards. And I mentioned these companies. This is the first year we're really, I think, in full force, shall I say, highlighting companies as we sought sponsors, because this year we're taking the awards program to a new level by giving micro grants to the individual award recipients. And so every year, everybody, the winners received a beautiful plaque, recognition, certainly. But this year, we actually want to be able to give them a check and help them elevate their business and take it to the next level. So we're super excited to have this opportunity to give out micro grants this year.
That is exciting news. What an elevation, right? Elevating everyone. So
Well, absolutely.
I do have a question. If we are to nominate a company or a person, do they have to be a Women in Drones member? Or is it
They do
open to
not.
everybody? Does it
No,
have to
they
can it be
do not.
male or female, anybody? Is it open to everybody?
So the individual award categories are focused on women contributors and women award recipients. The teams can be co-ed. Anybody can nominate. You can self-nominate. You do not have to be a Women in Drones members. And, just pass the word, spread the word, because nominations are free. That's important. There's really nothing that should hold you back from submitting that nomination form through the Women in Drones webpage. Sharon did a wonderful job working with the web designer to put it right online. It's all electronic. And so let me explain the way the process works. I think that'll be helpful. The nomination period is open from now, or from yesterday, an International Women's Day, through about noon. I think it's Central. Check the time. Don't want to miss the deadline on Friday, May 14th. And so there's a little bit of time to put that nomination in. Once those nominations close, we have an international panel of judges, and there'll be 2 rounds of judging. So hopefully we'll get a huge tranche of nominations in all categories, and then we're going to whittle those down. And there will be a semifinal round. Those semifinalists will be considered again by an esteemed and illustrious panel of international judges. And then the winners will it will be embargoed. So we're not going to launch this on social media. This is going to be announced live at Interdrone 2020, which is going to occur, fingers crossed and COVID permitting, in August 10th through 12th in Dallas, Texas at the Hyatt Regency there. So there'll be a number of activities at Interdrone. Interdrone has been, when you speak about sponsors, Interdrone has been an amazing supporter of this program over the years. And again, they're elevating it even more this year. So I mentioned this yesterday in my own podcast. Historically, we always talked about, look, the women are hiding in plain sight. The award winners are hiding in plain sight, and they would be announced at the luncheon for those who chose to attend that luncheon. Well, no more hiding. No more hiding. These women are going to be up front, out in front of everybody. There's going to be a plenary session where the awards will be in front of everybody. And then we're going to have a Women in Drones panel, Women to Watch panel with those award recipients talking about their accomplishments, plus the luncheon. And so lots of opportunities for these women to get that initial, push for their businesses and for themselves and for their organizations at Interdrone and beyond.
Wow, that is just amazing. What an awesome opportunity. And like you said, it catapulted your career in such a large direction. It just had a huge impact. And so the fact that it's going to be so large here at Interdrone, and Interdrone has been such a great supporter, and they're doing such amazing things. It is exciting to be a part of that as well.
Yeah, really fun fact. If you get bored and you want to see my interview from the 2019 Women to Watch Award, it was Wendy Erickson that actually did that interview. If you go on my website, which I dropped in the chat, and you go on About Me, there's a headshot. If you click on the headshot, it takes you to that video, which really I think was the start of my, I'll call it my company, because it was that moment and that time at that luncheon that I really was inspired to go forward and follow my passion, which is exactly what I'm doing now.
Awesome. So I have a similar story where I went to Interdrone and I attended the luncheon. It was my first thing that I did. And it inspired me so much just to be around such amazing women in this industry. It just, you leave feeling empowered and inspired and just ready to take on anything, you know? It was wonderful just to be around it.
Yeah, amazing. And you know, I'd be remiss not to also mention some of our other sponsors. So this year, also for the first time, we created I'll call it a crowdfunding website. It's on fundly.com. It's called the Women to Watch Global Fund. And anybody can donate to that. So this is not something you need to be a big company. You know, I mean, really, and again, the idea is let's put this towards expenses and towards, of course, the micro grants that we're trying to give these women and teams. And so I got to give a shout out to Richard Nichols. He just yesterday donated on behalf of himself and Airwords at our silver level. So thank you, Richard, for that. And we have a couple other companies that jumped in pretty early at the gold level. Transcend Aero with Peter Schmidt. They're doing some incredible advanced air mobility with their, if you haven't seen their Vi aircraft, it's like something from the future. It's amazing. And then we've got Mike DiConsola from Drone Industry Systems Corporation. He's created a vertiport in a box. Keep your eyes on Mike and DISC because it's going to be huge, I think, in the next year. And then I'm trying to think of our last but not least, Black Swift Technologies, Dr. Jack Elston right here out of Boulder, Colorado. They're doing some amazing work on artificial intelligence, machine learning, and machine vision that's going to take beyond visual line of sight to the next level. And they're getting a bunch of DoD and other federal contracts to pursue that. So those are just a handful of folks that right now are out there doing great things and supporting us. And I'd encourage everybody to spread the word. And if you find it in your heart to go ahead and donate to our Fundly site, you know, we even, I think our lowest level is like $25. So please, please, please consider donating to the cause.
So is that one of the links that you posted in our chat earlier?
Yes, I did. It's one of the first links. It says the Women Watch Global Fund 2021.
Okay.
And so that link is there. I also put a couple other links, like I said, to my website, gave you guys my email address if you want to reach out personally. And I kind of offhand mentioned my podcast, but that's something Interdrone is helping me with. It's their podcast. I'm their host. And it's Drones at Dawn every Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern. Having a ton of fun with that. Had Richard Nichols on last month, our Movers and Shakers month. And every month I'm doing a different theme. And this month is diversity, equity, and inclusion. And so yesterday I had Wendy on talking about women in drones and this award. And next week we have Esther Kovacs. You may know Esther from the former Secretary General of GUTMA and now has her own, you know, company Manageld and Drone Talks Academy. So she'll be on talking about global diversity. And then I think the week after that, we have Ernesta White. If you don't know Ernesta, what a force of nature. She has an organization called Black Girls Drone. And so we'll be talking about racial diversity in the industry with her. And again, like, you know, different theme a month. I've got global regulations coming up. Luis is on there for Africa. So excited to have Luis come for that. And, you know, we've got security, ISR, science and technology, training and education, all kinds of things lined up for the year. It's going to be amazing. Really excited to do those podcasts with people.
Well, it sounds fabulous. It's very exciting. So many amazing things happening. And so I am so glad. And I want to make sure that everybody has caught all the information into the chat, and make sure that you put your own information in our chat as well. Well, again, Dawn, thank you. Thank you so much. And I encourage everybody to go check it out. She's put all the links into the chat. All right.
Thanks, Deb, so much. And thank you, everybody.
That kind of wraps it up.